There's a lot of videos out there on the internet, and I've talked about it as well, about compounding our habits and how little things create sustainable success. We all know that the quick fix to things often is not sustainable, and it's often just a ploy to make us feel good in the moment and not to really curate lasting habits. Those things aren't sustainable, and the deviation of people who do make it off of those things are not the majority of us. But we all know about compounding habits and being in a season of micro moving forward instead of big leaps forward, which often aren't indicative of lasting success. But there's an interesting thing there, which is the courage to be seen at the beginning, the courage to be seen when no one is showing up, when no one is clapping for you, when the body is not snatched, when the money is funny, the courage to be in that season and have that patience and the courage to still show up for yourself, although it doesn't look like what you want your end result to be. And you're still developing your character in this stage when you have that courage to still show up when it looks a little funny. And I think that speaks to people's character so much, is being in a season of where this is not what I want it to look like forever, but I'm still going to show up with a good attitude, a good mindset, and take care of myself in this season of it not being what I want it to be. Sometimes there's a pressure to look successful right now, to do these things right now, to have these immediate results. When you say to somebody, oh yeah, I have a business, it may be embarrassing for it to be 10 or 15 people only purchasing your stuff. When you say to somebody you have a YouTube, it may be embarrassing to say to somebody, here's my channel, when there's only 5-6 likes on a video. It may be embarrassing to show up for yourself in a season where it is not final. Again, using final loosely because we never arrive. But at the very beginning stages, how do we handle that? Do we stick through it? Do we build some endurance? Do we continue to have the courage to show up when it's ugly? I know sometimes that ugly season can last for so long that it can kind of shake me a little bit. But that ugly season is where you build such a core part of yourself. How am I showing up for me when this is not the me that is going to be here forever? You have to get through the mud. And again, there's so much nuance to life. It's not saying isolate yourself and grind and never have a healthy outlet, but it is saying you can't do everything when you're in a season where you can't do everything. You have to sacrifice. If you want to build that business, you may have to save some funds. You may have to work a job that is not pertaining to the business that you will have. You may have to say no to going out with your friends for brunch and doing different things because you have to go and focus on something else. And there will be times of leisure, there will be times of relaxation. Pour into yourself, obviously, but that sacrifice in that season, in that beginning stage, to push through the feeling of that need to be successful right now and endure. I think some practical ways to stay committed is to reframe and rethink and calm yourself down in your mind. Remember to celebrate consistency and not just milestones. And this doesn't look like celebration to me is not always going out and doing something and having a huge event, but celebrating to me is waking up and telling yourself, that's right, we made it to the gym, we did that thing, that's right, we did that. It's talking to yourself and reframing those things as, ugh, I have to, yeah, I did that and I'm building toward something and somebody who I want to be. The me that lives that life shows up for myself today in these little moments. And that's a win. Celebrate that. Feel good about that. Be positive, be kind. And even if you can't be positive, at least be kind and try to find something to cling on to have some level of peace when you're going through a season that is not your end result. Have that patience with people. Show up to that job, to that DoorDash, to whatever it is, to your studio apartment with your business starting off the ground, and treat people well. Network well, treat people good. So when you make it, you have these relationships that have been poured into along the way. You've poured into yourself along the way. You have a healthy mindset and you've built those character developing skills along the way because while you were in that beginning stage, You didn't just ignore everyone. You weren't just rude. You didn't push everything aside until you met your milestone. You built those relationships along the way, and you built yourself up along the way, so now you can enjoy it the way that it was intended to be enjoyed. Love your body now, even if it's not at its final result. Love yourself now, even if you're not where you want to be. Be happy for yourself for starting that thing and failing forward into who you want to be. Have the courage to show up in the ugly season.